Hey, what's up? We're live, I think. Thank you so much to anyone who is here. Let me know, as always, that you can hear me well, that you can see me well. Today I have some fun stuff for you, and I'm going to show you in just a second. It is going to be a painting process, obviously. I think it's going to be really fun. I do have a couple of goals that I want to achieve, and hopefully, regarding the process itself, I want it to be very deliberate. I'm not going for spontaneity this time, so if I mess up, I can't blame it on that. But we'll do it. It's something I'm kind of strong at and kind of weak at, and I think you're going to enjoy this. So let's welcome anyone who's in the house. Hey, She Spins, good morning. Hey, Mimi Harp, good morning. Mark Ohio, good morning. I hear you. Thank you so much. Christine Bourgeois, of course, I am is in the house. I'm really happy to have you here. As we let people get in, I'll show you. This is actually what we're going to paint, and I actually did a prep sketch. I don't know if I'll call it a sketch. Let's show it here. I don't know if it's a sketch, but it's kind of a prep painting. I did put quite a lot of effort into it. It's mainly to make myself more familiar with the scene, which is this, okay? So this is actually, I'm going to give you some background, and let's see what you're saying here in the chat. Let's leave this up on the screen for you to see. So basically, we took a 2 days vacation, quick vacation. We wanted to, May was celebrating her birthday, and so I took a few pictures there, and this was one of my favorites. So I wanted to try and paint something from that. When you're somewhere, you know, the vibe of the place, you're more familiar with it. It's different if you just paint something you've never seen or just a photo. So I think that will be interesting to try and put something into it that's personal, I guess. So Barb White, good morning from sunny Florida. Nancy G, good morning from rainy Akron, Ohio. Let me know where you're from and how you're doing. Richard Bennett says, hello everyone. Hello Liron. Hey, how are you? Laxman Das says, good morning from California. Or is it? Yeah, I guess it's California, not Canada. Sorry, I'm really bad with those abbreviations. But in case, yeah, let me show you more of... and if there's any problem, let me know if you can't hear me or anything like that. Thank you, Mark Megar. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Mark says, nice prep painting. Thank you so much. Let me switch over to the desk camera and show you. We'll get right to it, I think. So yeah, this is the prep sketch I did. It's very small. The camera, as always, doesn't show all the nuances, unfortunately. But let me show you. Maybe with this one you'll be able to see a little more of the details. This one actually shows them a little better. I did post it on Instagram, so if you want to see a photo, high quality, where you actually see all the details, be sure to check that out. But in any case, for this matter, I think it gives a good enough kind of impression. So I am wondering how I should approach this one in a couple of different, from a couple of different prisms, especially about the tree trunks. I wonder how light I should leave them, or should I go a little darker. The sky and the clouds I'm pretty happy with. I think they work well. I got a couple of new colors too. Let me show you. I got this cerulean blue, and I don't think I've used cerulean for a long time, so it's going to be interesting. Got French ultramarine. Got a bit of perylene red in here, just not to go with the super strong pyro scarlet, and I put some new yellow ochre, M. Graham, in here. So these are the main colors I'm going to be using. Very simple, very natural colors that you will see in nature, so it will work well for this kind of a scene. So let's see what you're saying. And by the way, so now it should be 9 a.m. Eastern time, right? So let's see here. Time New York now says 9. Good. Because we actually, I don't know if you've moved the clock in the U.S. Because now it's 3 p.m. in Israel, and usually when I do these live streams, it's 4 p.m. And then I noticed that time difference was smaller now. So it used to be 7 hours, now it's 6 hours. Which is why I'm actually doing it earlier, so there's a bit more natural sun. Maybe we can benefit from that as well. So let's see what you're saying. Mark Mayer from Toronto, now in Florida. Richard Bennett watching from Manchester. Billy Armstrong, good morning from California. Terry Carter, great distraction from impending storms here in South Carolina. Happy to be a distraction for anyone who's going through anything challenging. Donna Bowman, hello. Josh Witt, great distraction from the art I should be working on. Please paint along with me. Do something else even. Paint whatever you want. Seacoast Shepherd Delay. Delhi, I think. I made it live. Oh yeah, you made it live, finally. John says, hi Liron, I hope you are well and May is feeling better. My favorite part of the week. 456 Barrett, hello Liron. I'm officially COVID positive. Hope to pass it ASAP. Here to watch your awesome live stream. Keep up the good work. Yeah, rest as much as you can. I know some people really have it hard when they get the COVID. Hopefully it won't be too hard on you. Mark says it's 9 in Florida, and I'm happy, by the way, to Barrett, to be able to help you go through that. Josh Witt, 8 a.m. CT. So CT, is it Connecticut? Am I imagining things? Josh Witt, great distraction from the arts. Did you write where you're from? Oh well, we'll get it later. We'll get it right later on. Renu Tika, hi Liron, good evening from India. Cynthia Zeke, good morning from Madison, Wisconsin. I'm on right in the beginning for once. Hello, yes, moved the clock. It is 8 a.m. here, just starting work. Oh, cool. Good to know. Thank you for letting me know. Barbara Gemin, hi Liron, it's Barbara from Italy. MLA, hi from the Philippines. Duke Nguyen, hi Liron, I'm in Vietnam. I should have been in Vietnam this time last year, which didn't pan out, obviously. Not this time, actually, around August, maybe. Then we postponed it to this year, and now we'll cancel it finally. Joanne Miller, happy to be here from Vermont. Seacoast, Shepherd Delay, New Brunswick, Canada, cool. Francis Lee, hi, here to learn. So I saw your latest landscape, it's really good. I need to learn from you. Kimi F, hi from Japan. Suad Abelha, bonjour, c'est bien. I saw your message, I believe, earlier. I'm doing well, thank you so much. Cynthia Zeke, CT, maybe Central Time. That's my time zone, cool. So I think we'll get started. Let's do this. First, we'll have to draw the scene. So I got the reference here. I'm going to open it up in front of me. We're going to talk about the things I'm changing, the things I'm leaving as they are. Let me just make sure you can see everything well. Yeah, looks good. I should probably move this a little and then change the angle a bit so that it's less at a weird kind of skewed angle that you'll have to forgive me for. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put in the main components of the scene. First off is, where is that line that the tree meets the ground that is closest to us? So basically we have this kind of a line here, and it's not a straight line, it's full of foliage, okay? Has a bunch of details in it. But from within it we have the tree. Now I don't want to put the tree dead in the center, and it is a little to the left, so this is what we'll do. Now one thing I love doing, and I'll do often, is I don't put in the two lines for the trunk. I don't go like this. I actually start with a line showing me where the tree is going to go. The tree top is going to be somewhere around here, so the split can be here. See? And this is how I like to do it. First, I'll establish some of its size using just lines. Later on, I'll figure out the width of the trunk and all of that. And you have seen me probably do this in the forest, sunny forest demo that I did, which turned out, I think, really well. So yeah, now, for the foliage, I don't draw each and every individual leaf. I look at the overall shape. And what I see here is basically a couple of kind of chunks, if you will, of foliage. This is one, there's another one here. What's often more important here than actually drawing every leaf, which I know is something people struggle with, feeling really dependent on the details you see and trying to get each and every one of them in. What's more important than getting every one of them in is the gaps. So leaving those gaps in the foliage is actually more important than the actual shape of any supposed leaves. So that's something to have in mind. These are beautiful trees. This is the north. Really, really nice, beautiful area. Had a good time. It's a little hard going back to routine, I will admit. Had a few challenging days, but I'll get it eventually. So this tree goes like this. So the other one will go like that. And that'll create a nice kind of interest in the composition. And even more than that, I would say, Um, what did I want to say? What did I just want to say? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, the gaps. Okay, so don't put it in the middle here as well. I'm moving it a little to the left. Okay. Now we actually have another tree in the background there, fairly tiny. I'm going to put that in. Or is it close to us? No, it's farther. That's not as important. A couple of groups of leaves here. Again, think in terms of groups. Don't try and paint each and every individual leaf. I know it's tempting. That's not the way to get a good feeling of realism or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Unless you're going for that look in particular. That's a different case. But for the most part, what I encounter is people not wanting this, but rather just overall wanting to get the impression of the foliage. And so, yeah, that's how it'll be done. Now, the next really important line, now let me just get a few details here on the tree trunk, like that. What's most important is to make sure you go from thin to thick at the bottom. The bottom needs to be the thickest, okay? So even thicker than I initially thought it would be. And then we have all of these straying branches that go in all directions. We don't actually need to indicate all of them here. I'm far more concerned with the foliage. We will do a lot of this in the painting stage, okay? I will check in to see what you're saying in just a second. I don't like being disconnected from the chat, but just 1 second, okay? Now, the most important thing here is actually this, the horizon in the background. What you want to do is get that gradual transition from the sky onto the land. And it has a lot of details in it. It has a lot of roads, maybe water reservoirs. So that's the kind of thing you want to make sure that is really believable. So I put in a couple of fairly horizontal lines, and now I'm just getting rid of some of them going over the trees. So I want to make sure to clean that up. This is all foliage, really, really nice foliage. And we're almost ready to go. One last thing is the clouds. Let me see what you're saying, and then we'll get the clouds in. Barbara from Italy, we read that, so we read most of the messages. Kelly Halligan, good morning from Lauderdale by the sea, Florida. Cool. Josh says he's in Wisconsin too. Barbara Kudelova, hello from Czech Republic. Tukce Chetin, hello from Turkey. There's no way I pronounced it right, my apologies. Ucha Murmo, hello from India. Okay, so we have a lot of people in the house and from many different places. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to put in those kind of lines representing the horizon. There's actually a mountain here. It's fairly light. And then the actual ground. We have this small little plant or whatever that is. And this is actually where it gets darker. The mountains are very light. Okay, so clouds. I do want to get some kind of a plan for the clouds instead of winging it. I said I want to be deliberate today. So we have this cloud kind of going around here. It has this little heart triangular shape. It goes like that. Goes behind the tree. And then kind of goes up here. Goes back down. Goes around here. Now, if you're having a hard time following your own drawing, or my drawing rather, your own will be easier to follow, trust me. If you draw this on your own, you will be more familiar with the lines, just as a side note. Now, there is a bit of the sky peeking through the cloud here. With clouds, try to keep it, as always, organic. It should look very loose and very natural in a way. We have this kind of a thing here, clouds in the distance, another one there, and we're pretty much good to go. One of my challenges was this stage, by the way, the clouds, just to figure out where I'm placing them. And I'm going to try and have something that looks good for you today. We'll see how it goes. The sky isn't the easiest thing to achieve, in my opinion, but we'll see. Now, if you have any questions, you just let me know in the chat, and I'll try addressing them. I see we have Tarcisio Domante from Sicily. Welcome aboard. I remember you, Mark. Excited to see how you handle the clouds. Hello from Estonia. Darja Moi, or Moise says, hello. Hello back at you. I'm also curious to see how I'll handle the clouds. It's going to be a challenge. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with the first wash. Now, this is going to be me ignoring the trees, basically, and painting the sky around the clouds, or over the trees and maybe around them. And ultimately connecting the sky to the ground and the mountains, to the land underneath, and to the grass here below. Okay? this is our plan. I may need a stronger angle, so let me get rid of this and put this in just to have better flow. I will need that flow. What I love about paintings that are vertical is that it uses the best properties of watercolor better because it's easier to control the wash from top to bottom. Now I did clean my palette. Let's use a bit of cerulean here as well and see what it looks like. This is my first time using this cerulean, so I want to check it out. I have a couple of test papers here. Tiny test papers, by the way. We'll see. Let's see what this one looks like. I'm curious. Yeah, that's a very nice blue. I will go for a mix, but it's going to be mostly ultramarine probably in this example. The ultramarine is, it's Daniel Smith. I just got a few new tubes. Here we go. A bit of both. Let me make sure that you can see the mixing. Yeah, you can see the mixing well. Because I have one screen that shows me what you see and another screen shows me the reference photo. So I actually, and I forgot, we replaced the printer's ink, so I can actually print in normal quality again, but I forgot. So let's get this blue here. This is a strong blue. Now I'm working on this patch here. I don't need to worry about the rest for now. So let's get started here. This is a very nice blue, very strong. I'll need more water to make sure it keeps. Ooh, that's way too much. It's a very soft color. So let me try and see how I can handle that. I'm gonna dilute it. That's fine. And I'm gonna work my way around these clouds here, fluffy clouds. And here's the most important thing with clouds. It's actually the edges, of course. So what you'll see me do in just a second, this cloud goes around like that, and then it kind of goes through here. So what you'll see me do is blend some of these edges out. That's how you'll get the beautiful feeling that you're looking at something soft like a cloud. Okay? And hopefully I'll do a good job at it. Let's get a bit more of an angle here. Paint around this. And then we're pretty much done with the top part. But let me just enhance some of these edges too, make them softer. Here we go. And let me see. So this goes all the way down to here. You see how blue became like the most dominant paint here? It's so funny. Was definitely not planning on that, but that's fine. Now, a beautiful thing with the clouds is to indeed get a few hard edges as well. So don't go blending off all the edges. Leave a few of them like this, hard edges. Okay? Maybe we'll do this just a bit. Then, these are gaps. I'm going to handle these later on. But what I want to do is add a bit of red here. A bit of red and a bit of yellow. You'll see in just a moment. I'm actually mixing this kind of a gray color because I'll use that as the color of the shadowy side of the cloud. So you can see here especially you get a relatively gray color for the clouds, and that will merge with the bottom here, I think, as well. We'll see how it works. I'm trying to do this. Let's do it like that. Okay, a bit blurry. And then this will connect with the bottom here that I'll have to dilute. Trying my best to actually narrate what I'm doing, but I will admit it's not always easy, so you'll forgive me again if I'm kind of... sometimes I'm going a little quiet, or, you know. So this is sky, so we'll need some blue here. Then we have another cloud that's a little closer to us, as you can see. This actually is all sky. Now I'm going to paint around the tree branch, which is my mistake from the previous one. I did not. I do want to leave it as a highlight this time. Okay. There is a bit of the sky peeking through here and here. Then let's soften some of this cloud onto a more muted shadow underneath it. And we're kind of done with the main part of the sky. I do want a bit more blue here. Look at all that blue. Like that. I know it looks like a big mess, but let's blend this a bit. Like that. Let's blend a bit of this here as well. like this, a bit of this as well, see? This I want to leave a hard edges, that's really nice. And then we can move on with the rest of the wash. So this is somewhat gray. Now let me paint a little carefully around some of the tree branches. And as we get down here, I'm going to start hinting at a bit of green. So we're going to add just a bit of yellow. See, just a very gentle touch of yellow. It's still not going darker. The darker part is going to be here, okay? Now, if you missed any highlights or you painted over the tree branch, don't worry about it. You can always come back with some opaque paint. Let's see that you see everything well. I think you do. Okay, that's good. And now onto the land. Now, this is way grayer than you would think, so I'm going to mix all of my primaries. Let's see what we got here. So this is quite gray and nice. I will give it a bit more blue here, because this is where it does go a little dark as well. So here we go, dark section, like this. And then I can start injecting more green. And I would even put in a bit of this kind of a sap green in here. It still has to be slightly darker than the top, by the way. And I'll leave this kind of perhaps a road. Let me show you. It goes from right to left, maybe. Something like this. And then we'll get to the bottom that's actually closest to us. So let me show you, because this is important. Here I have to up the colorfulness. This is closer to us, and I want to really show it. So brighter greens, brighter yellows. You see, we're still kind of ignoring everything here that's not the sky and the land. Okay, we're not doing anything for the trees yet. That's a part of it. You have to be patient in this stage and really take your time and ignore what needs to be ignored in a way. Now this has to be dark, so I'm not afraid of going darker here in some sections. This will cover this up. I will also do some spraying because I do want to get some texture. I'll probably go over it later on, but just for now, so that I have something maybe for later. My coffee's in the sun. I'm gonna move it. And let's put in a few kind of random grassy details, or I'm going to use even really opaque paint for this. Just for now. I can add even a bit of red. This is where I like to put in my, flair of just using whatever I want. Whatever colors I want. I feel like red is a big part of my paintings in a way that if I'll just use blue and yellow, I feel that the painting is very boring. So that's the kind of thing I want to be careful of. And I would like to maybe get rid of this here. I think that looks okay. Now, do I need to darken some of the bottom? Probably. So let me grab a bit of these two actually. And if it's still wet, I can kind of go over it. But this is something we can fix later on if we see the need to. Just this needs to feel closer than the sky, so that's pretty much it. Let's see here. Actually, you see I got very different colors in the first go. So we'll see how it goes, we'll see. Do I want to get the green to be greener? Probably in some areas. So let's add a bit, maybe of a darker, this kind of a, even, what do you call this, like a more emeraldish green, kind of. Now, it may be too much, we'll see, we'll find out later on, but for now, I think that'll work. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let this dry. I'm gonna get my phone, just to make sure it's next to me, if I get something important. And then, okay, so this looks fine. What I'm gonna do is dry it with a hairdryer, come back and we'll talk about what we did, okay? So give me a second, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, so let's see what you're saying in the chat. By the way, just as a side note, if you hate, sorry, bumped the camera. If you hate doing this kind of a thing of painting around clouds and you don't feel like doing it, I don't know why the video is a little delayed for some reason. Let me try and fix that. Let me know you can hear me well, because something is weird on my end. Especially with this camera. But in any case, if you don't like painting carefully like that around the clouds and all of that, what I would recommend you do is to just flatten the sky. You don't have to put the clouds in. You can use like a flat wash of light blue and it will still work. By the way, sorry about the autofocus. Yeah, I see it has a mind of its own. Sorry about that. I know it goes a little crazy when things are light. So let's read the messages. Barbara Gammon says, I often get lost in my own drawings, so maddening. Yeah, I know this feeling very well of you. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm good. I don't know why it was weird on my end. Only this video worked a little delayed, and that's weird because I'm the one streaming, so I see a delay that doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's Barbara. It's a matter of really observing. Like, don't feel frustrated. Take a break and really look at the reference photo. I need to do that all the time. I'll get lost. Like here, I'm looking at it. I'm like, where are the leaves? Where should I put them? And then I see, oh, okay, they're here and here. Take your time. Compare it to the reference photo. You will get it. MB, what kind of pencil do you use? This is a really generic number 2 pencil. Okay, so I see that there are some problems with the video. Hopefully it will work itself out. But yeah, it's just a very generic number 2 medium pencil. Just a tiny one. Just the stub of what I have left of this one. I have a box full of these, so I'm just using those. To make this one, I actually used the mechanical pencil. This. I don't know why. It was just what I had real close to me. Sometimes that'll be just as random as that. So yeah, let's see. Julius Thielman, hello from Germany. Marjorie Johnson, I'm late, I know. I figured it's an autocorrect. I'm late getting to the party. New York State and so cloudy here. I thought it was 6 a.m. Funny. I don't like when the weather makes the time look really late. That's my problem. Sometimes it feels a little depressing. Unraveling Anne, yay, I made it. Welcome aboard. Rohan Naik, fast and easiest way to learn from you, sir. So good. Thank you so much. Toby Ilden, the autofocus has a mind of its own. Yes, sorry about that. David Mesh sends is it a thumbs up? I'm not sure. Crispy, hi there everyone. It's Christian from Germany. It's funny because whenever I read crispy, it sounds like crispy, so that's funny. Welcome aboard. Ronica here, Bapasitaram, I don't know what it means, hopefully it's not a bad word. It looks like a good word to me. Presley, Da Costa, hey, random, YouTube channel 123, hello. Barbara D says, hear you well. Barbara Graham, thanks, will do. Barbara D, I'm surprised some part of the background are already quite color punchy. Yeah, I had to push it already from this point, because later it's going to be harder. We can do it, and I will show you probably how I change it a bit. Anyone from art college here? Yeah, let us know if anyone is in art college here. Dave says, hi Liron, sorry I'm late. Did you change time? No, I haven't. I have, because the US changed time, so I just went with that. So my apologies for that. Yeah, I changed an hour earlier. My bad, I actually haven't thought of it. I thought that, oh, the whole world changed the clock and only we didn't, so sorry about that. Jeffy Jeff, Chicago is in the house. Marjorie Johnson Landscapes. The bane, I guess, of my existence, but I have so many places around here, it's a shame. Yeah, do Plein-Air if you can, that's like the best. Hello from UK, great to see you, Liron. Thanks for all the fantastic tutorials. Thank you. Tarcisio, do you also use the fluid? I didn't mask anything using masking fluid. Nope, just painting around it. I don't like masking fluid as much. Paint and brush, how are you? I'm your ancient friend. Well, thank you so much for being my ancient friend. Now, do I know you by a different username and a different platform? Let me know. What time is it, Liron? Here it is 3:30 p.m. Which is earlier than my usual live streams, just because the US changed time. There goes autocorrect again, yeah. Okay, so let's continue here. what I want to do next is do a glaze. And let me close the window just a bit. The light is a little blinding here. I'll close the blinders a bit. Hopefully it will not look as burnt as it is. I was in a really off mood today, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I wasn't feeling anything of what I was doing, but now I'm a little better. Doing these always makes me immediately higher energy. So what I want to do is a thin glaze of yellow over the trees. The trees need to be a little, they aren't paper white, okay? The thing is, if I'd put that glaze earlier, I'd have the wetness of the blue seep into that, and I didn't want that. I wanted to avoid that, so we'll put it now. I'm mixing a bit of this yellow, which is a little brighter and happier, and a bit of the yellow ochre, which is more muted. And we'll just get some kind of a base layer on them. Okay, very simple. This stage is very, very simple to do. In fact, I can use this. I wasn't planning to, but I can actually use this while it's wet to get some smoother transitions. So let's do that. You know what? That's fine. How did I not think of that? I wonder. So let's add a couple of shadows over the tree. I'll use kind of all of my colors. Now the light is getting a little darker, but I see you can still see me well. That's good. Let me know if you can see something well. I'm just going to put in a few touches here, and what this will do is lead to a gradual transition because it's still kind of wet. So we'll perhaps be able to convey that the tree is rounded. Okay, it will have more shadows on it later on, but this is just as an initial kind of definition of the shape. Okay. So this goes here. Looks nice, I think. Something like that. And yeah, we'll do something in addition to that, of course, later on. But this is just kind of a first touch, okay? And here we'll do the same for the other tree because it is quite yellow. And we'll add the shadows like before. Like this. I'm actually fine with them blending a little more to the right with this one. So I didn't wait almost at all. Okay? And with that, we have a nice base to work off of. The next step is the one that most people have trouble with. That is starting to get the foliage in. Now you want to treat this as big shapes. Let me show you. I can even show you on the back side of this one. Or not, I won't. Let me show you here. So instead of doing the dabbing like a lot of people sometimes do, which is getting all the leaves in, as good as you are in getting those in random places, it's just unnecessary. What you want to do is put in a big shape like this. That's a group of leaves. Then here's another group next to it, and here's some of the sky or clouds visible through. Okay? You want to treat these as big groups, large groups. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. Let me open the blind again because the sun just moved out of the way. Yeah, okay, we're good. And I'm going to close the window. It's a bit noisy. By the way, Ruth is here as well. She's on the sofa. Whenever I put attention on her, she hates it and she leaves the room, so I won't this time. Let me go over this with a hairdryer real fast just to make sure it's fully dry, and we'll continue with the foliage, okay? And if you've ever seen a painting's ugly stage, it's this one, okay? It looks like nothing, but it will look like something soon, I promise. So, let's mix something for those tree branches. Now, if you look at them, and this is a mistake a lot of people make, the branches aren't green. They're not really a strong green or anything like that. So, they're very muted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some kind of a muted green, and I will add a lot of red to it. Because that will push it to look a little more like the actual color of them. You can even use a bit of green with red and it will probably push it closer to what it should be. Let me test this out on my trusty test paper here. So that's close to what I need. I'll put in a bit more green though. And then we can start rendering these. Now think in terms of big groups, okay? That's what you want to think of. So this is one group. Let me get rid of some paint so we can get a bit of a drier effect, like this. And then we have a gap between the groups, and then there's another group. You see, I'm not stopping to paint every individual leaf. I don't care about that at all. And you won't be able to show that. There's no need to. What you want to do is get the overall, and I do need more red here. It's a little more red. The overall groups of leaves, and you can use the the dry brush or any means at your disposal to get it, but use large strokes. Don't go with the tip. Okay, that's a big no-no for me at least. You can do that occasionally just to get a few leaves here and there, but for the most part you don't have to. You won't need to, and there's no reason to. Okay. So this will be a few branches are the lines, a few branches in the shadow, okay? Now if I get too many gaps, I'll just close off a few of them. Some feel a little too much. And here it's starting to dwindle a bit, so we have a few separate, very separate groups of leaves. So we have this one and then one that's a little fallen, like that. We have a bunch of leaves here, like that. See? Just put them as one big shape. Let's move this a little lower. There are a few leaf groups that are a little lower. Don't worry, you won't overwork it as long as the shapes are touching each other and merging together, okay? As long as you do that, you won't overwork it. Now let me add more water, because we're going to take care of the tree on the right. A bit blue, a bit red, and a bit of yellow. A bit more red. But this one I will keep a little cooler, I think, so a bit more blue here. I don't need much because the paint is really almost straight out of the tube. Now, to contrast what I did here, let's give this a few less of the dry brush texture. A bit less of the dry brush texture and a bit more of a unified kind of lump of tree, okay? Let's connect some of these to feel a little disconnected. Like that. Stray group of leaves here, and we're pretty much done. You could let go of this tree and not even put it, but I like it, so I decided to include it. Like this, I won't include. There's a bit of a group of something there. I don't need it. And here, let's get a bit more flow and get it a little bluer, a little more kind of even gray in a way. Like this, and in one group, so that we don't attract too much attention into this section, because this tree is a little more at the back, okay? And a few groups of leaves here, but overall you see it's not as detailed as this one, not as many gaps showing the sky. It's just a very... And you'll notice I'm not even following my plan exactly to the T. I'm actually recreating it based on what I see in the reference photo. Let me look at what you see here. Oh, this is terrible. I'm gonna need to close the window. Sorry about that. Again. That's better. So my apologies if you couldn't see a thing. Now one thing that will put this whole thing into context. Sorry, a lot of bloopers today. One thing that will put this into context is actually the shadows on the branches themselves. We're not done with it at all. Okay, we have quite a lot of work to do yet. And we'll darken the bottom section, of course, to bring it out as opposed to the background. So let's see what you're saying here. I messed up a lot. I hope not too many people are complaining. Okay, good. Good. We're okay for now. Anders Mopley says, hello, how often do you stream? Usually every Thursday. Okay, so every Thursday around 9 a.m. Eastern time I'm here. And you're welcome aboard every time. So I'm going to switch to a bit of a smaller brush here. I'll start rendering those branches. Okay, you see all of these smaller branches here? We'll start working on those. I'll start with kind of a warm yet muted color for these, and I may need to switch to a smaller brush. We'll see. And I can also use this opportunity to start rendering some of the like the main. It's too green. This is way too green. Some of the main branches themselves, not just the branches, but the, what do you call it? Like the main part of the tree. Can't believe I forgot how to say it. So here we go. The main trunk. I guess that's the word. So I'm starting to apply some more shadows there. Now you'll notice wherever a branch pops, it will cast a shadow in this direction. Okay? Because of the light coming from right to left, generally speaking. Okay? So these will hopefully, and you want to darken the trunks here up top because they're in the shadow. Okay? That's really important as well. And if there are some, other major branches, you want to add those. This is just a slow kind of stage where you add more and more and more and more until you're pleased, basically. So like that. This will cast a shadow in this direction. And there's a lot of them. You don't want to go overboard necessarily, but you do want to put enough of these in. Okay? And just to get the texture of the tree, I'm doing some touches here and there. But for the main shadow, I'm sticking to just a flat kind of shape on the left here, like this. Okay? And once in a while, I'll add, like there are a couple of branches here. There's this one and that one. So I will add this kind of a shadow that's being cast by it. Now, one beautiful part of this is going to be overlaying these dark branches over the dark tree. Okay, so we will use some opaque paint out of the tube to make this pop. Okay, just a small trick that we'll do later on. I like that kind of a thing. There are a few far-reaching branches here, like that. There's this one. I forgot the tree, so I'm gonna put that down here. It actually is important. A bit more blue maybe here, really close but behind the main tree trunk, and a bit darker there for the tree trunk. Don't worry, we will make that better separation for foreground and background in just a moment. Okay, so yeah, so this goes here. Usually a tree trunk will have shadows that are perpendicular, parallel to its main direction. That's what you'll see. So a lot of these will be, you see, like that. Let's see that you can see everything. Well, yeah, that's good. Like that. So I'll just continue doing these. This isn't necessarily that interesting, but I do have to do it. So hopefully you'll enjoy. And this is, to me, a very standard landscape. It's something I think doing plein air would be a better idea, by the way. You'll get more, because we were there, it's a bit of a different case, but generally speaking, these kinds of views work best when you're actually there. There is something to the soul of the place that brings out a lot more interest, in my opinion. Now I can always refer to this one and see what I did here, but I kind of like it. And by the way, here's something really cool that will sometimes happen. I want you to encourage you to paint until you feel that way once in a while. What will happen is suddenly the painting will make sense to you. And this is really something you can't control. But at some point you're going to feel like, oh, I see it. You'll see it as its fullest potential. You'll be like, oh, now these branches do feel like what they're supposed to look like. And this does feel like a tree. I feel the sense of depth. Once you feel that, don't let it go. It will come to you at some point. I think I've gone through this point now, where the things I'm working on actually feel good and like they express what I'm looking at. So it's a very subjective feeling. Some will call it being in the flow or whatever. There's millions of names, though I'm not sure. Flow is a little different. But generally speaking, it's a nice moment that you want to really hold on to when you get it, and when you don't, you let it go until it comes again. But at some point you'll feel like, oh, I see it. I see like the painting for what it is, for what it's meant to be. It's a very hard thing to explain, but I'm sure some of you will understand what I'm talking about. I'm absolutely positive. Now you see there are these, I don't know if this is pines or anything like that. You let me know, but I'm gonna put those in. It is important to show that there are some things at the edges of these branches. And that's pretty much, I think, it for the main tree, okay? For this one, we can add a few more. I'll actually go a little more red, like this. I guess just to create some interest. But overall, this is it. Now, we need to get this section darker, okay? To make a separation between the foreground and the background. If you forgot where it is, it's actually here. Okay, I don't have a problem going over it with a pencil, so you'll better see it. Let's just go for it. Let's render it. I'm gonna do this with a small brush for now. I want to have the control. So we have a very dark green here for this kind of a, I guess, bush. And behind it, we're gonna keep things fairly light. Let me use my sprayer here just to wet some of the paints fast. Okay. And I do want to go again darker here to make that separation. Actually, I really enjoyed this color. Let me use just the same color I used for the preparation here. I have this palette of grams. If I can open it, here we go. And I really liked this green, so let me actually use that, okay? No need to do things differently just for the sake of it. I'm actually quite pleased with this color, so here we go. We're gonna put a bit of yellow there as well, just to keep things a little interesting, connected to the tree branch, maybe using a similar color there. While the edges are wet, I'll get a few more of these kind of branches or whatever. Let's switch to a bigger brush. I'll need it. And trying to keep things, I guess, organic looking in a way. Not sure what I did here with the yellow, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to put a big lump of yellow here. Then, and I may go over some of the tree trunk for sure. We'll see how it goes. It's hard for me to see this foreground in its full context yet, okay? Just because I just put it now. So we'll perhaps need to take a small break and kind of observe it anew in just a few moments. Maybe give a few touches of red like earlier, with this kind of pyrrole scarlet. I know it may seem very extreme to some, but I actually really like it. Even dots if you want it to be more like natural flower looking. And finally we'll do some of these. We'll spray some on it, just to get a bit of texture going here and there. It's gonna slowly work its way into what we put, don't worry about that. And I think we'll let it dry and then we'll see what we're up against. That's a big part of watercolor. You let it do its thing and then you come back and you see what needs improvement. Like perhaps this tree trunk needs to be darker overall. I can see a possibility of that. And then some parts of it will be lighter, but some parts will be darker. I don't like the gaps here. Let me close those off now. With kind of a muted color. I don't like this. I may end up covering the background with a bit of a light blue just to mute it. Let's see what you're seeing here. Yeah, I think it looks interesting. You see here, I ended up covering it again with blue to mute it. And that created that nice aerial perspective in a way. But I don't know, I like both. So let's see, let's let it dry, see what it does. In the meantime, I'll look at what you're writing. What a blooper would it be if I forget to unmute myself? That'll be terrible. I'm gonna go a little up there in the chat. Actually, maybe I'll do this for my phone. I don't know if it'll be more comfortable. Sorry for the logistical stuff. I'm just always have issues with my iPad, so trying to figure it out. Where did I stop? Mostly watercolor, good for... Oh, okay, a lot of messages. Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay. Aryan Patel, hello, uncle. I'm from India. We have Ek Yomazyu, I can't read this, sending us a lot of hugs, I think, and good stuff, so thank you for that. Painted brush. If you see an old master in watercolor, they have used sap green a lot. It looks fantastic. Yeah, so I used a version of sap green down at the bottom. Hopefully it looks good. I don't know. Let me show you. Okay, so I don't know what I just did, but the chat has completely disappeared on me. So I'll have to open it from my... Let's see here. This has never happened before, but for some reason the chat just is gone. I can't see it. Hopefully it doesn't mean that I turned it off or something, but if I did, we'll find out in a moment. Okay, so write something in the chat if you can. Hopefully I didn't disable it accidentally. Let's see here. Man, I'm terrible technically today. Why can't I see the chat? Analytics? Oh, that's so strange. Okay, I just can see you, but whatever. I'll deal with it. I'll look at the live stream live. It's really confusing, but that's fine. I'll open it on my phone. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let's mute my phone. Look at the chat here. I'll just look at the chat here, and that's much better. There's a lot. Okay. Forgive me for the dead air. Where it is? Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Margie Johnson, a Dunkin' Donuts straw makes a perfect protector for the point of a number 2 pencil for plein air. Oh, nice. I haven't thought of that. That's a really good idea. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, thank you. Paint and brush, I love your work, really, sir. Thank you. Presley Da Costa. Watercolors are good for landscapes or still life or portraiture. Need your opinion. They're good for all of these. It's just that watercolor has a bit of a different process, that's all. So I will say you can use it for whatever you want, basically. But it just has this unique process to it that you need to learn how to kind of work with. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You can paint anything with watercolor. There are really no limitations. Please be my friend. I am your friend. Of course, no worries. 6 Uilini. It's kind of cool how the foreground looks like it has a bokeh effect. Yeah, the foreground. Bokeh effect, I've seen a bit of it. I don't even remember what it means, but someone sent it to me and I saw it. Let's see what it is. Bokeh. I don't even remember. Bokeh. Oh, yeah, of course. Like field of view, you call it? Like a short field of view. Sketchman, hi. Feel free to draw with me. Welcome aboard. Anders asks, how often do you stream? Every Thursday, again. Diptendu Mondal. Hi, sir, I'm from India. I love your paintings. Thank you so much. Sketchman says, whoa. Kimberly Hilton Studio. Hi, Liron. Sorry I'm late. Happy to be here. I didn't catch what colors you're using for the sky. It's just French ultramarine with a bit of cerulean blue. I got a cerulean blue finally. Because I don't usually use cerulean blue. And French ultramarine mostly. It's like 70% French ultramarine, 30% cerulean blue. For the rest of the colors, it's Perlin red, yellow ochre, a yellow I forgot what it is. It's kind of a neutral, kind of a Hansa yellow. And yeah, that's it. Hi Liron, I'm Yusuf from Sri Lanka. Hey Yusuf, my friend. Thank you for always being here. I appreciate it. Sketchman, I've always wanted to be a good artist. I posted a video yesterday, my first one. Congratulations. Keep at it. Paint and brush, cold pressed paper, India here. Barbara Gamma, nice technique for the foliage, run very natural. Yeah, it's always a challenge, foliage. I don't know, I'll always feel like I'm messing it up in a way, but yeah, I'm happy with it. Amazing look, says Paint and Brush, thank you. Glorima Wilson, my dear awesome and kind watercolor master artist, working towards it. Don't know if I'm a master yet. You're a young man, very amazing. I can see my brain building that piece of art as you talk, and thank you for that. Thank you so much. Blessings. Thank you so much, Glorima. I really appreciate it. Marjorie Johnson, I've been looking for a larger travel brush. What's yours? I do like Kolinsky Sable. Yeah, it's Escoda's, mostly. I don't know if larger, like my largest one is 16, so maybe not as large. Travel, you mean it's actually collapsible? Because that's not always easy to find. This one, for example, is large. It's just not collapsible, so I don't know. I'm just using whatever I have. I use this one like once or twice, which I really like, the Raphael Soft Aqua 40mm. Wei Kichin says, hi. Lori Huber says, like a chef develops their taste palette, how does an artist develop their color palette? Starting with a few, learning how to use them efficiently, and then adding more and more colors. That's the best way I can say, like start from something small and slowly build it up. Anders Murphy says, thanks. From where are you getting this kind of images? I took this picture, actually, from a trip up north. I took this one from vacation. Elisa Mason, love your videos. Great information contained in each one. And as a side tip, take your own pictures. Like, it's really useful. You'll always have something to paint if you do that, so I highly recommend it. Let's see if I got my chat back on my dashboard. I don't know why it's gone. So strange. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. What if I hit the edit button? I don't know if I'll ruin everything if I press it, but that's fine. Nothing happened. Okay. Okay, we're good. Somehow made the chat disappear. So strange. Okay. Love your videos. Great information contained in each one. Watercolor and oils are different, but I am on my way to mastering watercolor with your help. Big hugs from Mississippi, Gulf Coast, USA. Thank you so much, Elisa. I really appreciate that. It takes time. It really takes time and a lot of practice, and it's fine. Like, take your time, do whatever you need to grow a bit every day. It is an ongoing process. VM, thank you for doing what you're doing. Your amazing art and techniques never fail to inspire me, push myself further. Thank you, Liron. Thank you. Susie Pogue, it's so nice to catch you live. I've gained so much from watching your videos. Thank you. Sketchman, SC gives love to you. South Carolina, thank you so much. Umar Tang Penmanship, hello from the Philippines. Hey, how are you? Fatima Sa, hi, I'm from Brazil. Love your lives. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Anders, when you see it, there's an instant shift, and there's no telling what happened in between. You can't mechanically recreate the shift. Yeah, that is so true. 6. Wilini, what is the difference painting from a reference photo compared to real life? Any particular thing to look out for? I will say, and this sun drives me crazy, let me close this for a moment. I will say that painting from, it's a very strange time of day, but it's fine. So I look a little strange, but at least you see the painting well. I will say that the main thing for me drawing and painting outside is, it's just that you're more connected to the reference photo, whether you want to or not, and that's something that cannot be stressed enough, I think. Just being more in front of it, fewer. This is terrible. I have to block this. Being just closer to it. Maybe I'll just open it up completely. It's this time of day where the sun is really in our faces, so yeah, sorry about that. This will go in just a moment. But just fewer barriers between you and the reference when you're out there outside looking at it dead straight on. It's just so much better. I don't know why. I find that I recognize colors better. I'll actually see things as more colorful when I'm outside. And I'll paint them more colorful. Like, this is something I'll do for plein airs always. I'll always have this kind of an effect. Hi, Uma. Liron, your trees look really good. Thank you, Kimberly. I have a lot to... I have a few improvements to do. I'll see if I can make them look better. Well, hi, Liron. Finished your course 2 days ago. I have to say, very good job. I like the structure of it and how you explain everything, of course. This helps me a lot, making me practice more. Cool. I'm really, really happy to hear that. Let me know if you have any questions. And I didn't forget, by the way, you and everyone else who sent me things to review, paintings to review, I will review everything. Okay, I'm planning on doing a video, like an actual video review. I mentioned it in the latest video. I want to do like a proper thing. I'll go over everything and review them, give critique, and post it as a video. Barbara, the background, oh sorry, Presley, do you do any artworks? Not sure what you mean, let me know if you talk to me. Barbara, the foreground is your that's it moment, I think. It suddenly all came together. Yeah, something about it, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Rinske, hi Liron, I have a question. What can you buy better first? Good paint or good brush? If you have money for just one of these. I would say good paint. Good brush you can get used to, but good paint, there's really nothing you can do about it. Bad paints, or you can't do anything about it. Sebastian Lee Jones, wow, you're very creative, thank you. I don't know what I think of this one yet, we'll see, I'll add a few more details. I'll soon start adding more details and we'll see. Sketchman, I do design and Zen Doodles. I'm watching this because I'm trying to get better at watercolor and paints. Cool, thank you for being here. Okie dokie, Rosita says hi, Barb White, hi again. Sebastian Lee Jones, hello, very creative, thank you. Just joined in. Okay, a bunch of messages. We'll skip some of those. Umar, I will definitely save the tutorial for replay, yes, as always. If you missed part of the live, you will see it later on. Anyway, now I understand why you like Stan Miller. Watched him a bit. He's really good, and I think you have a similar teaching approach. Thank you, Whale. Yeah, he's amazing. I don't know if for the teaching approach, I definitely like his. So it's a huge compliment if I do have the same one. Francis says, claps, thank you, my friend. Laura Merrifield, Liron, any tips on doing a sky where there is a yellow-orange cast to avoid it blending with the blue or turning green? I think it has to do with the colors you use, but also if you keep things wet enough and add enough of an angle, they won't merge together. So what you'll have is, and I can actually show you, if you have this piece of paper, say, and you start with a blue, I can just show it real quick. So let's say you start with this kind of a blue, like this, okay? And it's at an angle. What will happen is, and then you switch to that orange you talked about, the gravity will, yes, they will get closer to one another. Sorry, you can see a thing. I'll show you here. The light is really weird. I'm just not used to this time of day. But you see, the gravity will push the blue a bit, but overall they will stay independent. And put it at an angle. Don't hold it like this, but actually let it flow down. And you should be okay. This shouldn't move too much. Okay. So yeah, not a particularly clever tip. I don't have anything clever for that, but it should work. Let me open the blind again, because now we should be good. I think we're done with the awkward. Sorry about that. Awkward light. So yeah, we can move on. I think. I may even need to turn on the light here. Let's continue, and then I'll return to the chat. I think I want to take this a few steps forward, but before that, I just want to show you here. Okay. So this is what I got so far. Just easier to see here, and I think it looks much better here too. So what I feel like I need to do is darken some of the tree trunk for sure, and add a few more details in the foreground. So let's do that. This stage isn't going to be too long, by the way. It's a relatively simple one. So let's start with darkening. I'm going to use blue and kind of mixed with a few other colors just to get maybe a bit of yellow, a bit of red, just to mute it down a bit. And if you look at the tree closely, you'll see that it's light up top, but then the more you go down, it is a little darker. So that's a good spot to kind of darken it and mute, kind of lower that yellowness. This shouldn't be there, like this, okay? Maybe a bit here as well. For this one, it's going to be the same thing, I guess, but it is more at the back, so I do want that separation. Now, let me cover the background with a very thin glaze of this kind of muted blue as well, just because I want to make it a little less vibrant compared to the foreground, okay? Like this. I'm going to go over this white highlight as well. I think it will just make a better separation between the two. Could be a risk, but you know what we like to do in these live streams. We don't care about that. We're just going to take the risk. So this goes like that. I don't know. Maybe it looks better, maybe it doesn't. Not sure. I think once it dries, it will improve it. And I will go a little darker on the bottom of the tree trunk yet again. Something like this even. Yeah, that's good. So we made a separation, but it's still connected to the bottom. Okay. Now, I do want to add, this is a little complicated, but I do want to add that fence that I have here. You saw this. I kind of like it. Maybe I'm forcing it on this scene, but I actually want to include it. So let's give it a try. So I'm just going to use all of my primary colors to mix something that's kind of dark. And hopefully it will work. So we have this kind of a, and we'll go over these like, yeah. That's one. Put more blue in there just to get it a little darker. That's 2 here, and that's 3. Don't worry, we'll find a way to make it more distinct in just a second using some opaque paint. So we'll put that in. Do I want to darken some of these? I don't know. I'll darken this tree branch. Honestly, I just kind of want to look at it because I'm really not sure if and what I want to change yet. Okay, some of these tree branches should be darker, so I'll go like that. Cast a bit of a darker shadow there. Some of these will point towards us, so you want to get those in as well. You can add small details, but honestly, there's not much left. This is pretty much done. I hate this white gap. Let's get rid of it. Same here. Okay. Get a few of these over the tree at the back. We're good. So I think we'll switch now to a bit of white. Let me put this at a distance. I want to see it from afar for a second. You won't be able to see it, just me. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm not the happiest with the lower section, but I am happier with the trees. So here's the thing. I'm more happy with the nuances of the color and value here. I think it's better. It's lighter. I can actually lighten it. I can try. But I am happier with the trees in this one. So that's how it works. Some aspects you're gonna like more, and some aspects you're gonna like less. Let me try lightening some of the background. I don't know if it's just silly, if I'm being silly wanting to do that, or it will actually do something that I like. So I'm just gonna wet this a bit, and then just go like this. Just a bit. It feels kind of dark in some spots, even though I covered it with blue just now. Like that. I think that's a little better, just a little better. Made the separation. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things. I want to get this section darker as well. This part here. Make it more obvious that it's actually a tree. Okay, that's good. Now this has a few darker shadows. I will add them, even though I was initially hesitant to go darker with this one. But I do think it'll be a good idea. So let's add some of these in. Like that. There are a few dark shadows here that we can add as well. I'm going to try and use kind of a overall green to darken these, not necessarily blue or red or anything like that. So this looks a little darker here. This is darker, which is good. There's a darker spot there. We'll just create maybe some depth for the tree to show that some parts of it are a little darker and some parts are a little lighter. This is darker for sure. Some of these edges are darker. But overall, I think that's good. Now let's add a few highlights. We're actually wrapping up this process fast, so I'm happy with that. I have a bunch of other work to do, but we will do like a conclusion, and I will answer some questions. And by the way, look at how this dried, I told you. Let me switch over. See? They didn't blend too much, okay? But anyway, let me show you what I want to do. I want to make some distinctions for the branches. Some of the branches are lighter, okay? And then I'll try and address at least most of the questions that we'll have in the chat. Some of these branches are actually light, and I want to get that effect in. So one of these ways is to show them against that darker tree here. So let's see if this may be too thick of a brush. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to a smaller one. This one. Sword brush. Oh, we're moving along fast with the process, so that's good. Okay, so a bit of opaque paint, and this will hopefully, see, it will just bring out the branch a little more. Hopefully you can see this. You can't, so let me show you up close. Sorry about that. So if I just go over the tree branch here, for example, see how it brings it out, makes it look a little more real. And don't worry, I'm going to do this for areas that are in the sky as well, because some of these are bright and they have a light on them. So I want to show that. So I'll just do that, and then we'll see how it pans out and what it looks like. So let's see here, because a lot of these branches are in fact light. This. I can actually see the small highlight on this one as well. I don't want to do this for the taller ones because they are in the shadow of the leaves of the tree. But for the lower hanging ones, for sure they will be more exposed to sunlight. Not a lot to do more of these. I don't see many. Maybe a bit here for this one. Now, do some of these go over the trunk? I think they do. So here's an example. Here's another one we can pop out from here. Here's another one. This one's coming towards us, so this is a highlight. This is a highlight. If you go over the tree trunk, it shows that it comes out from the middle of it. And that can be important for some of these tree branches. And this is pretty much it. Now, I want to do something fun here. I'm going to mix this opaque paint with some wet paint, okay? And we'll get this kind of a strange mix that is not white, but is still light. And I'm going to use that to add these details on the fence. Okay, so it's not too striking. See? Like that. And then I can use a bit stronger light paint to put these connections in. See? Like this. Like that. Now this fence is organic too. Yes, it's made by people, but it's not perfect. Okay, so you see I'm doing all sorts of crooked lines. It's not straight. Plus there should be a highlight up top here and here and here. That looks nice. There are a couple of highlights in the background, but I don't know if I want to add them in. Maybe just a bit here. And it's even better that they're kind of hinted at, I think. Because most of these annoyed me, they were too strong. Let's see here, there's this road. It's okay. Too much of a pattern, I don't like it. I'll get rid of it. And I think we're pretty much done here. So let's take a break. I'm going to address some of your questions, and then if I feel like adding anything else, we will. But I like it, and I think this really brings us in the foreground in a way, so we'll see about that. Let me close this paint and see what you're writing. Zaid, sorry, my friend. Yeah, sorry. A lot of people seem to have missed it. So here's the thing. When I scheduled the video, what I did was, and let me hold this a little higher so you can see. Let me just do this. I'll show you my face and this. I want to talk face to face. So when I scheduled the video, I actually did a post on YouTube, and a lot of you don't see it, and that's fine. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button. You will get a notification for when I go live. But I also did a post that says I'm going to be live tomorrow at this time, and you have an option to set a reminder. If you just hit the link in the post, you can set a reminder and it will tell you when or in how many hours I'm going live. So I tried doing that, but again, not everyone's going to see this, so my apologies. I think we're pretty much done with this one. I will soon take a picture with my phone and show you a better quality, okay? But if you have any questions, now is a good time to ask them. Not my strongest piece in terms of planning of the values and the flow, but I think it is good in the details of the tree and in the creativity on the foreground. I could definitely do a better job, like here I did a better job, in my opinion, when it comes to the depth, okay? Get a bit of a better sense of depth around here. I'll take a picture of both and show it to you up close. But for now, let me answer some of your questions in the chat. I'll skip some that are duplicate or I feel like or conversations between one another. And sorry if I miss your messages. My apologies. Laura Merrifield, Liron, any tip on doing... Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Would you prefer landscape or buildings? Says Dave. I actually like both. Yes, landscapes, cityscapes are my bread and butter. I live in a city. I like painting buildings and cars. But to be honest with you, I love landscapes as well. A lot. Nina, which color can you recommend for blue sky? French ultramarine or ultramarine blue? Here's what I've been using. French ultramarine here. Let me show you. So I've been using this one by Daniel Smith. And as for the cobalt, not cobalt, cerulean blue, I use this one. So I bought these a few days ago. Very happy with what they look like. That's what I've been using for, that's what I'm using mostly for my sky. Sometimes phthalo blue, but for the most part, ultramarine. John says, beautiful result, Liron. Thank you so much. Let me switch this over so you can see it as we talk and as I answer some questions. Let's get rid of all of these. Put this here. I don't know if I should get rid of the reference photo. Make it smaller. Let's get it smaller. You can see everything and I can answer your questions. Sketchman, anyone got any drawing video ideas? I was in this situation, Sketchman. Just draw whatever you enjoy. Trust me. Don't worry about what other people do. Don't worry about what other people say they want. Just draw whatever you like. Even if other people have done it before, that was a big issue for me when I started YouTube. I was like, I don't want to paint anything that other people painted before. But it's nonsense because people don't care about the subject only. They care about your approach to it. So they want to see how you draw it and how you paint it. Okay, my suggestion, my 2 cents. Start with what you like, okay? Liron, do you have an Instagram account where you post your work? Presley, yes, of course. Just search for Liron Yan IL. I'm going to write it in the chat, Liron Yan IL. I can actually just link it. Let me link it. So if any of you, on Instagram, I also share the live streams. I say when I'm going to be live. So tune in there because you'll see it in my stories, okay? Sketchman, sorry. Sorry that not too many people gave you ideas, but I gave you my idea. Well, love this painting. If I was doing it, I would have stopped before, but as you say, freedom and courage, right? Yes, exactly. Drip Christian Kukreti, beautiful, thank you. Subkuch Milega Bakwas, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I shouldn't read foreign languages. Maybe I'm saying bad words, I don't know. Nina, it's really hard to not overwork a watercolor painting. Not necessarily. I agree to some extent. Maybe I should talk about it more in a future video. Marjorie Johnson would love to see you paint zoo animals. Live close to Animal Adventure in New York State. As soon as COVID is under control, I'm going to paint giraffe. Any help with that would be awesome. Yeah, I'll try doing more animal videos. All subjects are the same. Look at the light and shadow and so on. But yeah. I will do more. By the way, I have a playlist on my channel for animals, so check that out. Nina, it's tempting every time and then I regret it. Yeah, I get it. Which paper can you recommend? I'm using Arch. I love Saunders Waterford. These two are my favorites. I don't like Fabriano as much. Subscribe for the button. Not sure what it means. Zaid, yes, sorry. I started early. I did not realize there was a timing change. Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry for anyone whose time hasn't changed. I know I should have gave a better notification. Why mind your language? Zaid uses nice language. Sorry, the chat jumped on me. 1 second. Okay. Fence, good choice to add. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shepherd artwork looks great, Liron. Thank you. Loda Lassoon. Don't know what it means. I should stop reading languages I don't understand. Looks amazing. Wow, I like how you added the opaque paint for that fence. The painting looks great. Thank you so much. Just the foreground too blurry. I don't know. Yeah, you could add some sharp blades of grass, Johnny, too. You could definitely do that. I actually like it, so I'll leave it like that. Techno Arts, are you an artist? Yes, I suppose. I don't know what to say to that. Sorry, Davobroto. Perfect. Thank you, Sketchman. Thank you, Glorimar. Susan Lynn, thank you for the love, Liron. Are you coming to visit America again? I wish. I hope to soon when things open up. Laura Merrifield, which sort of brush do you use? So this is an Escoda Perla, 1/4 inch. So I don't know if you can see it. Let me see here. Yeah. So this one. Perla. I know you can see this. Let me show you here. Perla. There we go. You should probably see it on a larger screen. And I'm going to take a picture of the painting in just a second and you'll see it in better quality. You'll see that it looks better, but you'll also see the mistakes better. Oh, okay, for the live. Yeah, Susan, I got it. Chat makes me laugh. Looks greatly wrong, thank you, Dave. Besides watercolor, which other mediums do you like? Says Presley. I actually like oils, but I don't have any experience in oils. I enjoyed doing acrylics. The few times I tried, I really enjoyed them. But watercolor, like nothing comes close to me. I also like pen and ink a lot, and pencil. Dave says Bockingford paper is very inexpensive and can get packs of 50. Works well for me. Yeah, I know a lot of people enjoy Bockingford, so that's a good suggestion. Marjorie Johnson here in New York State. I never see an ultramarine blue sky. Do they make an ultramarine gray? Yeah, you can make it if you just add a bit of red and yellow. Kind of like I did at the bottom there. But yeah, I get it. James L. Baker, hi Liron, greetings to all from London. IZ Vlogs sends us a V. Okay. Zaid Thakur being in India, if you guys can stop tricking people into talking wrong things, it would be maintain a better image of our nation. What do you mean wrong things? I'm not sure, but sorry if people are doing things that aren't nice, I guess. Zaid, and sorry that you I wasn't clear enough, I guess. Let me take a pic of the painting. I'll show you a bit of a better version of it, I guess. Light's pretty good, pretty clean. Okay, so that's gonna be this painting, and I'll send it to myself and we'll open it up on the screen. And I also have the smaller prep one I made too, so I'm gonna send it in just a second. Sorry for the dead air once again. Send this one. And another one for the previous one that you can also see again on Instagram. And you'll see the difference. The larger pieces will always look a little better and more detailed. That's just how it is. So let's make this one smaller. And we'll add an image. from the downloads folder. 1 second, I'll get it on the screen. Here we go. So this painting just now, and I'll have to rotate it as always. Here we go, 1 second. Good. Yeah, okay. Gonna make it smaller so that it fits on the screen. I need to figure these things out, how to do them quicker, I guess, but yeah. So here is this painting that we've just done. I'll have to move here. So I think it looks good, and now you get a bit of a better view of it. And as for the previous one, the prep one, going to be buried in paintings here on the screen. It's this one. And I'm just going to edit it real quick so you can better see it. 1 second. So yeah, I like it. I think the thing I like about it is the foreground and some of the creativity there. The thing I definitely want to improve is the sense of depth, which I think is a little better. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention, I did make a few corrections to the smaller version. You'll see it in a moment. After I took this picture. So it's a bit of a different version. So you'll have to forgive me. So this is the smaller prep one. And I will show you the difference if I can find the right corner. Here we go. So if you see the foreground, I know it's hard to see, but the foreground, the midground is a little darker, okay, and more muted. But it doesn't matter. What I wanted to mostly show you are these two. So you can see the difference. Obviously the larger final one, you can just put in a lot more details in it. So that's always the advantage. But I like both. I like that fence especially. And I can sign it in a moment and remove the tape if you want me to. I know people always want me to do that. Let's actually do it. Okay. Let me sign it real quick. And we'll see what you're saying in the chat as well. Yeah, of course. I'll remove the tape, Johnny. I know. I knew you'd want that. So yeah, if anything, like these videos really help me to better understand what people like to see. So thank you for that. It's actually really valuable feedback. So I'm just mixing this dark color for signing. And we can do that. Maybe I'll use a smaller brush here. Again, the sword brush. I just want to sign it before I remove the tape, so sorry that I take my time. I usually edit this part out or make it faster in the pre-recorded videos. So here we go. Sometimes I'll sign the light on dark, but this time it's good. Going over some of the thin letters. Here we go. Got it signed. And let's remove the tape together. So be sure to pay close attention as I do this. Okay, I hope you'll enjoy this one. I always try doing it gracefully. Then I end up kind of messing it up. But here we go. This is a really standard landscape in a way. I have a lot to practice when it comes to these because I'm so used to buildings and cityscapes. When it comes to conveying depth here to, I guess, just a better composition overall, I have a long way to go, really, I do. And I'm very grateful that you like it. I'm just saying out from my own personal perspective, there's a long way to go to improve. But in any case, here it is without the tape. Let me show it to you in the front camera. And we'll, for 1 second, remove the photo. Is it this one? Yep, here we go. With the more details. But here you can see it without the tape. Well, let me bring back the picture just because it's better. You see it so much better. And maybe let's remove the other one. And let's see if you have any questions, and then we can wrap up today. Fairly quick, actually. Ooh, a lot of people got in. I guess a lot of people thought I'm starting the normal time, so my bad. Barbara, great result, Liron. Would you ever accept or want reference photos from subscribers? Feel free to send them over. It depends. If I really vibe with it, I may paint it for a video tutorial or for myself. So feel free to. John says, thanks for another great live, Liron. Thank you, John. Dave, is there a difference between French ultramarine and ultramarine? To be honest with you, I don't know exactly to explain it. Theo has a really good video on that, so check it out. He shows the exact differences between French ultramarine and ultramarine, explains why that difference is, perhaps the advantages and disadvantages, so check that out. Theo, I'm going to write it down in the chat. Theo, ultramarine comparison. If you just search YouTube for that, you'll find it. Okay. Arthur Koopmans, I finished my drawing watching your stream. I might put on some masking fluid today, but if I leave it on paper too long, it might be hard to remove without damaging the paper. So here's the thing, if you are having a hard time removing the masking fluid or tape, use a hairdryer if you have one handy. Just blow some hot air on it and it will be easier to remove. Learned this from you, my subscribers. I had no idea. Glormar Wilson, be all well and safe. Blessings. Thank you. Sketchman, yeah, man, thanks. This is the first video I've watched and I've already sold. Thank you so much. So you'll love the pre-recorded videos. It's better. I think some of them are much better paintings. It's more succinct and to the point. So feel free to check these out. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Anyone who discovers the channel through a live stream, I'm just so grateful for that. Kimberly Hilton, Studio, do you have any recommendations for a good quality watercolor sketchbook? I have trouble finding one with cotton paper. I usually make my own by sewing arch paper together. To be honest with you, that's the best way. That's really the best way. Now, I have had... 1 second, I'll show you. I have a sketchbook with real paper. If I can find it... Yeah, okay. So... There's this painter called Michael Solovyev. He's a Russian painter based in Canada. And he's a Daniel Smith brand ambassador. And he sent me this. Now, I don't know, if you email him, he may be able to send you one, because this is actually 100% cotton paper. It has a nice texture to it. This is where I did my Washtober challenge, by the way. And this one. So he's an amazing artist. He actually has a YouTube channel. He does videos here on Instagram as well. So check his work out. Michael Solovyev, and you can see it here. Daniel Smith brand ambassador. This is a great one. This is really a good one. The only trouble I had with it is, you see how some of the binding came out, but like, who cares? It's such a high quality, and this is all in one piece, so it's great. Really recommend something like that. If he has this, then maybe Daniel Smith will have these, maybe other brands, maybe Arsh also, I believe, should have this. I remember seeing a rough paper one once at a store, so yeah. Sketchman, thank you for subscribing. Presley, how many years are you into watercolor, Liron? So I've been painting for about 6 years now, watercolor. And yeah, it's just a long journey. No matter how much you practice, there's always stuff to improve. It's amazing, actually. It really is amazing how much more there is to learn. I'm sure, I know for a fact you can do this for decades and still learn new things every day. Well, during your alla prima lesson, I painted the best sea I'd ever done. Cool. Not great, but the best by me till now. That's amazing. I wanted to do a nice alla prima, but it turned differently, and I'm happy for that. Send it over if you get the chance, in addition to the other things you send me. I'm curious to see. Swad, yes, this is close to the end of the live stream. The painting is done, so if you want a bell, you can do that now. I see that Dave recommends Stillman Burn is good sketchbooks. I have heard of them and I have seen them on Amazon. Anders Mopley, thank you for your work. Found you by accident because you are streaming. Cool. I just subscribed, so I look forward to looking at your prior videos. Thank you so much, Anders. Yeah, I recognize that the username is new to me, so thank you so much for being here. There are a lot of videos. Again, some are shorter, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. These live streams always end up being much, much longer. So, yeah. Johnny 2, I removed the tape, of course. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna head out now. Peace, Sketchman says. Thank you for being here. Umartang, can you make a video of art materials that you can recommend? Yes, I have one in the planned. I will do that. Javijev, would laying another layer of the darker spots push back the background ever so slightly? I'm not sure. It will be a risk because you're also making it darker. Even though it could be a light layer. But yeah. Pence Palacio, hi my friend. Sorry if you came late because you thought it starts now. Genevieve, I like it very much, Liron. Thank you for your video. Thank you. Let me switch cameras so that you can see again the final piece a bit better. Actually, let me see if I can improve the picture because the colors aren't as clear. So I'll just open it up in Photoshop 1 second. It's gonna really take a second. I'll do some color correction so you can see it a little closer to what it actually looks like. Auto color, I guess. And then image adjustments, exposure. And then image adjustment. I'm trying it out. We'll see if I can get it to look closer to what it actually looks like. Image adjustment, hue saturation. You cannot see all the colors here. Oh, I'm fixing the wrong one. Yay. Good on me. 1 second. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, now we're talking. Image auto color. Sorry about that. Here we go. And then we'll play around with the image. I know you can't see the change yet, but in just 1 second you will be able to see. And I think it will look a little better. And then image adjustment, hue saturation. Saturation, okay, save. Save. Okay, so now it should change over on your end. And just look a little closer to what it actually looks like, hopefully. But yeah, this is closer to what it actually looks like. Genevieve, well, recommendations, that's good. Oh, thank you so much for recommending my course. Removing the tape is the most exciting part. Uma, yes, I agree. Zaid, hey Dave, I saw you in the Alice live as well. Oh yeah, Alice has a great channel. John says, awesome work. Thank you so much. Tio, Ultramarine, I wrote that. Tio is great indeed. Hey Liron, do you have a Pinterest? Yes, I do. If you just search for my name, I think you should find it. Brett. Zaid, hey Liron, what are the different types of styles like Impressionistic and Watercolor? I guess it's the same. Impressionistic, Expressionistic, Realistic. I don't think it's different in Watercolor per se. Whatever styles there will be in Watercolor as well. Let me know if that's what you meant. Hosta Carol, great job. Always good to see how a painting takes shape from the beginning to end. Thank you. Well, Heaven Ultramarine by My Mary. Yeah, My Mary are interesting. Venezia and is very strong. Plus, it's more violetish. Yeah, Marjorie Johnson. Love starting my day with you. Thank you. Now, where is Ruth? Ruth is here sleeping on the sofa. I'll show her to you in just a moment. Michael is amazing. I agree. Yes, Barbara, indeed. Ambi, thank you. This was lots of fun. Bramel Sheraton, great to see your live stream. Many thanks for your time and skill. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to you being here. I really appreciate it. Presley, how many painting practice do you do in a day? I don't paint every day. Actually, there was a time I painted every single day for a few hours. That's how I got a main bulk of my growth. I hope to return to that actually, sometime in the near future. Hopefully I can make more time for it. But yeah, it's a challenge because I'm doing so many things right now that it really is a challenge. I have to carve out the time to paint. It's very hard. But it's just priorities, you know. You just make a decision and you make it happen. I think if you're just getting started, an hour a day, like 5 times a week is a great place to be in. Dave says, thank you so much for this live stream. Liron, always learn new tricks from you and wonderful people here. Thank you. Swad says, merci. Thank you for your time, Presley says. I really enjoyed and learned many things. Looking forward to the next live. Thank you for being here. Lisbeth Rodriguez, is it better to tear the masking tape off once the paint is dry or when it's still wet? Once it's dry. Let it dry. Even use a hair dryer because it will flatten the paper. If you rip it while the paint is still wet, it will buckle immediately. It's a nightmare. So yeah, try to wait if you can. Arthur Koopmans, thanks for the great hair dryer tip. I need to go outside now till the next stream. Pens Palacio, I imparted the words that you said in the last stream where we interacted through our works. It's hard, but I'm still practicing. Oh, cool. Yeah, it takes time and a lot of practice. Again, all of this is just practice. I'm in a place where I really want to put more time. It's been a while since I really worked, I guess, more intensely. Let's move here and let's move this there. On my painting skills. I want to go back to a time like that. Hopefully I can do that soon. Just because, again, I'm doing so many things and even producing content takes a lot of time. But hopefully I will be able to do that soon. So I think before we wrap up, what I'll do is show you Ruth and then we'll say goodbye. So let me take out the camera here. Sorry for the slight shakiness. And hopefully you can see her right there. So yeah, this is Ruth. Let's see how it shows from closer. So I'm going to hold the camera closer to the painting. So actually not bad quality if I actually bring the camera closer. So you can see hopefully some more details. But yeah, so that's my my camera for streaming. That is really not the best one. But in any case, yeah, hopefully you can now see me better. I want to thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. As always, very grateful. I hope we can do these lives more and more in the future. And I hope... it's funny that you see me twice. And I hope to be able to, in the future, do more of these and more spontaneous ones. And, I don't know, just to vary it up a bit. Let me know. You can leave even a chat or a comment if you're watching this after the fact. Just let me know what you'd want to see for future lives. Obviously, more painting processes. But sometimes I do sketchbook tours. The critiques people liked a lot, so probably more of that. But let me know if there's anything I still have not done. Let me move this so you can see me in better light. If there's something I have not yet done and you want me to do more of, let me know. And by the way, I tried annoying Ruth and she jumped with her head accidentally over my nose, so now it's really swollen and it hurts. But yeah, in any case, thank you so much, and I will talk to you again in the next live stream, in the next video really soon. Okay, let's see if I can even end the chat after I end the live stream. So yeah, I think I found a menu, but I don't see a button for stopping the stream. So I guess we're stuck with continuing the stream forever, I suppose. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna end it now. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again real soon.